Greetings! Welcome to the devlog for Alpha 1 of Update 112 of Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades. We're going to start off as always with a quick sound check. Make sure speakers aren't up too high. Wonderful. So what have we got for you this week? Well, we're going to start off the year, our 2024 content, with some new ARs, some ones I've wanted to get in for a while. This is the latest set of them that are all Civvie ARs. Ale has been cranking along on these, on both them and a whole bunch of attachments and a new attachment system that has gone in as well. So let's take a look at the first one. The first one we have is the MP15, called in-game. This is your quintessential, inexpensive, off-the-shelf, starter AR, emblematically, in terms of just its furniture and look. I'm pretty sure I've seen pretty much this exact one up on the wall at least once. It's got FDE furniture on it. It's fairly short, and you will notice here that the 4 on this is has M-lock instead of pick rails, and that's because the system that was added this week was actually finally me relenting and putting in an M-lock sort of a option for attachment slots and a starter set of attachments for it. So let's actually just throw on a back sight on this that looks appropriate. Take a shot or two. Good stuff. And let's take a look at, let's use our first one as an example here and see what we have to start with on the M-lock attachment front. So we've got a bunch of things. I've gone ahead and put in a bunch of attachable 4s, and as you can see, they can slide around here. They don't index to the exact holes. This was something that I'd considered a while back, but the fact of the matter is that a number of the guns in game that have these slots, I don't trust that whoever made those assets, like Ale, actually did everything down to just absurdly accurate dimensions, which means I can't actually count on having correctly dimensioned parts attaching to those weapons correctly. So these are still just sort of like individually sliding rails, so we can put that there. There are also a full suite of adapter pieces. So if you have a pick rail attachment and you want to actually put it on an M-lock 4, we can do that, and then we can grab ourselves, I don't know. Pop that on there. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Have a hand stop on here instead, if that's more your jam, as I drop that to the ground. There we go. Beautiful. Good stuff. So yeah, and there's these adapters, there's 5 lengths of them. I believe this is actually the longest or the second longest. A bunch of 4s, and I'll be getting even though the adapters allow you to put pretty much anything that's a pick attachment in the game onto these. Obviously, having extra hierarchies of adapters on guns gets more performance expensive in the game, so I don't want you to be entirely reliant on there. So definitely expect me over the course of the next couple months to throw in a couple more M-lock specific go-to parts, and I'll add those in the item spawner entries for the guns that are relying on M-lock mount points. Do note that I have not yet replaced any of the existing guns that are not these new ARs that have M-lock pieces. Those are not functional yet. 1 or 2 of them, I sort of made them function as like hidden pick rails. A couple of them, nothing happens. That is going to be next week. So I wanted to get this system in first, double check that there isn't like an enum naming collision with any of the mod content out there, just in preparation for having this in the game. Moving along to the next rifle. We have the FP15, and the way this one has been configured and set up is basically as just a high-quality, nice competition AR. Just little, nothing too egregious or ridiculous. Just practical, fairly lightweight. Just a beautiful piece. I've got, I don't remember the name of these components. I put in so many. Yeah, these are the Knight micro irons set. Let's go ahead and fire this one. Oh, I love the visibility on this iron end game. This is fantastic. Oh, it looks like I spawn locked an almost empty magazine. And so we'll dump some rounds in there, throw that one away, dump these into our hand. There we go. Now we have a full magazine. How many of you have had to do that and take a hold where you went, oh no, I shot 3/4 of the ammo out of my only magazine before I spawn locked it. Oh, and you know what? Let's get tactical on this. I must admit, this is the one thing that I really love about M-Lock rails, is just how trivial it makes it to put an offset grip at any point along the gun. You know, questionably practical, but definitely cool looking. Beautiful looking piece. Beautiful. FP15. Next up on our list, we have one that will eventually replace the gun that is called in-game the AR-15 SBR. I haven't taken it out yet because I wanted to make sure that certain things didn't error horrendously when I took it out, but this is going to be our replacement. This is the PDC-15, our little personal defense carbine, and look at how tiny that is. I just love it. Love the look. Let's throw a little 4 on that. Beautiful. And of course, because this is like a 7-inch barrel with a break on it, should have a fairly pronounced, you know what, that should honestly be even more fire. I don't know why. That's decent, but I kind of feel like it should be an even larger fireball. Might be the lighting in the scene. Should actually put some sights on it. We have just like tons of sights coming in this update. Check the changelog for the full list of them. It is just preposterous. Beautiful. Oh, this is going to be a fun little piece. I just love it when they're this compact. So much fun. Beautiful little piece. PDC 15. For those of you who like a really long-barreled AR-15, we've got this just colossal beast. This is the DMR 15. Let's throw some A2 style sights on it. Note that this actually has an enable on attach underside pick rail. Like if I just grab a pick attachment and put something there, it pops on if there is something there, but remains clean visually if there isn't. And of course has our 6 M-Lock down the length of it. I just love this. I've always been such a huge, I mean, I was talking with Ale about this the other night, that like when there's something cool about the visibility of, you know, the look of a gun, frequently there'll be a single piece of media that you look back to and you're like, oh, I thought that was cool when I was a kid, and it just sort of stuck. And this stock and handle, just for me, from Metal Gear Solid 1 as a little kid and being super into the PSG-1, an AR-15 with this kind of look to it is just, will always be cool to me. Great stuff. Got our toggleable aperture there on the sights if we're trying to do even more precision shooting. There we go. Great stuff. Great stuff. DMR 15. And now we have the last one. This one is a special one. For the Ole truly poured his heart and soul into this, and by that I mean that we had to do one that was going to be the spiritual successor to the Bling 15, which is that this is an AR assembled as though someone was trying to make something cool that they thought, but really they just made something very overpriced with a bunch of subtle mistakes in it. And so I give to you the Pen 15 so that you can join the Pen 15 club. Look at this ridiculous, hideous thing. Just overpriced parts all over the place. We've got a mag release in there that actually is longer than the fence, which is perfect if you want to accidentally bump into something and drop your mag. We have, let's actually pull this out. It's got the incorrect type of feed ramps in there for things, and he did want me to mention that the stock is perfectly fine. He just personally really dislikes it, so it had to go on. Oh jeez, this is just ridiculous. So I hope you enjoy this AR-15 shit post directly from him to you. I would call it beautiful, but it's not. So it is. It is. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, and of course there's a bunch of other little attachments that have gone in here. We've got a Canadian style carry handle. This is the AM4 suppressor. Here's a couple more of our M-LOK to pick rails. We've got other versions of the Night Irons, the FDE forward one, the 300 and the 600, which are slightly different looking. For those of you who obsess about the very specific iron look, what are you? This is the arm rear sight, and this is the empty rear sight. So yeah, a whole bunch of variations. If there's a specific iron sight combination that you love putting on your specific setup, here you go. I think we probably have it in here now. So I hope you folks enjoy all of the new irons. We've got a bunch of fixes for meat miss stuff that I'll go over right now. Yo! So out of VR, what else have we got here? So I have fixed the 2x50 millimeter rail projectile. I think it should now no longer just overpenetrate. It might do way too much damage now, but given that it takes like a full second to charge up, and then has like one of the longest cycle times of a gun in the game, I actually don't really mind that. It's a fictional railgun. You should have some fun with it. Fixed the MX410 sets item spotter categorization. They're now properly under lever action shotguns, not rifles. I fixed I'm so sorry for anyone who actually was like, I'm gonna pump the Girandani air tank all the way up. I completely messed up my math on it. And it resulted in taking instead of like 1,200 pumps, it was going to take let's just say a lot more, like a lot more than that. So it should now be roughly historically accurate and correct. And I fixed in the missing Panzerfaust 3 entry. The launcher is now actually in the game correctly. So yeah, so as I said before, I have not taken anything out yet in terms of those old last two ARs, and I haven't added M-LOK support yet to any existing weapons that will need it. There's a bunch that are like the MX410s or M-LOK all around the handguards, the Mark 12, the M2 tactical shotgun, the AKM tactical and such. And so that is all going to get adjusted next week or whenever our next sort of build is. I'm just assuming it's next week. Yeah, as I just continue to get new things in. As I had said in the last video, I'm starting this year off a little chill. I know this is like a lot of attachments, and believe me, I spent probably like as much time making all of the metadata and item spawner entries for these as implementing them, just because it's so many items. But I'm just focusing for the first couple weeks of just getting back in the groove and sort of like getting back to work, but it's sort of a relaxed pace and still recovering from the last couple months of 2023. I'm just focusing on fun content like this. So you should expect, just more item drops and things like this, fixes as I just get back into things. I think I want to actually get some more Sosa guns in the next week or two. And one important thing in relationship to modding, I know some folks are still relying on the beta branch that's called prior main branch version because they're waiting for certain mods to be brought fully up to date with the sort of main system. So what I'm actually going to do when I end up pushing 112 to main branch as a full update, which will probably be very soon because I'm not doing big code changes at the moment. I am going to change the name of that branch or make a new branch called U110. And U110 will be the version of H3 that was before those big modding changes. And so that will exist on the beta branch basically until Take and Hold Tweaker is fully updated and fixed and no longer an issue with any sort of institution stuff. So that I can continue updating the game and doing full branch releases without eliminating the one way I know a few of you have to still only play the game until that mod is fully fixed. So I hope that's a good compromise. But if I end up making a new branch, just so you know, it won't like automatically kick you over from the prior main branch over to U110. You may have to do that change yourself when I end up doing that, just so you're aware. So, and hopefully those of you in the mod community just who've heard me say this, just like try to pass on that information to everyone else when it's relevant. So as I said, like I need to keep working on my own stuff here. And I have my own priorities, but I obviously don't want to step on the way that lots of people who play the game, as a major part of their day, week, etc. I don't want to screw up a way of playing the game that's important to them, while modders who don't have professional production schedules, get around to working on things when they have the time and motivation to do so. And I know that can be a very different rhythm from mine. So anywho, that is just about it. That's our update for this week. I hope you all are having a wonderful January. I know a whole bunch of the country is pretty cold right now and is going to be over the weekend. So please just like be warm, be safe. Make sure you have, if you're like in the entire Midwest and the cold part of the country, make sure you have like spare blankets and water and flashlights and stuff because, new climate change curveballs. So. But yeah, be well, and I'll see y'all next week. Peace.